Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first episode of the KetchUp, brought to you by Catch 'em If You Can Media, Catch 'em If You Can Radio. Catch 'em If You Can Media Group sounds a little better, but one of our many platforms that we're going to be trying to use and really get the message out to youth athletes and their parents of what it really takes to be a high level athlete, to get noticed, to be seen on the level where the kids and parents think their kid can be seen. Now, a lot of people don't really know the ropes, the ins and outs of what goes on, the politics, the teams that you got to play for, trainers you got to have, all of these things. And a lot of people think that there's only one avenue of getting to their dreams, but we're here to show you at the KetchUp that there's many ways of achieving your dream, being a high level athlete in whatever sport that is. So today on our first episode, we are very privileged, lucky, and blessed to be able to get the current CT Game Time Athlete of the Week, Mr. Tommy Dinunzio from Lewis Mills. Just before I let him go, I just want to let you guys know my man is a sophomore at Lewis Mills, currently averaging a double-double with 20 a game. He's the current CT state championship. I'm sorry. Last year they made it to the state championship. He is the current CT Game Athlete of the Week, and he plays in the top basketball conference in the state, which is the CCC. So right now he's one of the top guys in the conference, and he's only a sophomore, very young. I've known Tommy since been 11 years old. Always been a good kid, a good player. Now he's a great player and an even greater person. So, Tommy, I just want to introduce you to the world. Anything you want to say? I mean, let the people know who you are.
Just want to say honored to be on one of the first episodes of the KetchUp. Hope to see it grow and thrive in the future. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to perfecting my craft even more in these next couple years.
Okay, so to get started, man, I got a couple questions I want to ask you. I really want to get your perspective on some things. In the basketball culture we live in today, we live in a time where, social media really runs basketball, and it really runs the perception of who's good and not. Usually today we're very fascinated with the athletes, the guys that could jump over you, that are quick, that are fast, that are dunking. But the guys that play the game the right way and are good at basketball don't really get the recognition early, especially in this social media instant gratification era, right?
Yeah.
You are a guy I looked at as always since I've known you as a meat and potatoes kind of guy. You will do the dirty work, you'll do the clean work, you'll do whatever a team needs to win. Sometimes that means scoring 30 like you had to do this season a couple times. Sometimes it means blocking multiple shots, stepping out, hitting threes, whatever you got to do to win, and you're very selfless. So before we get into that, I want to know, what are your influences, when you started the game early, and what made you such a selfless player? What made your outlook on the game be we over me?
I think what made me kind of be a guy that was never really like me, like growing up, like I was never too big on like the gram or anything like that. I think from a young age, just playing like and developing a love for the game so much, like strictly for the game, made like wanting to win like a lot more important than just in a way getting mine, and like knowing that I could still get mine, but just doing, like you said, the dirty work. I think that comes from just like kind of just like loving the game and loving to win, and knowing that somebody's got to do the dirty work, like if you want to start to get those wins.
So what instilled that in you as a kid? Because again, I know you have a mom who was a former athlete, Syracuse alum, my favorite person in the world, Lori D. And then your dad, Jay, is also a former athlete, I believe. Also a Syracuse alum. Big Syracuse family, by the way, guys. Got to put that out there. I'm surprised the walls aren't orange behind them.
Oh no, we got them in here.
I don't know. I'm not seeing any Syracuse things. I see some Boston. I see the Syracuse. Oh, they're gonna see it. Okay. I had to make sure.
Don't play around.
I'm just saying, Jim Boeheim is gonna see this. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure that all my UConn. I'm sorry. Ooh, my
Oh
Syracuse
nah.
alum fans
Mm-mm.
see this and to make sure they know who to send some more gear to. Paul Harris,
Mm-mm.
Johnny Flynn, y'all know, send my boy some stuff. All right. Now, as I was saying, Tom, I know your parents are very, very, very passionate sports fans. As you see, you got big Red Sox fans, big Syracuse fans, big
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Mills fans. What did they instill in you from a kid? Was it go out there and try to score all the points, or was it, hey, just go have fun, or was it you got to be the best? Was it play with your team? Like, what did they instill in you from young? You feel that made you the person you are today on the basketball court and off?
Yeah, I think it was definitely like go out there and do what you love to do.
Hmm.
Like I think my mom, like, from a young age, she started to see that like basketball was like something I love to do. So she started to push me to do that. And then as I started to play basketball more, I think my dad, that's when my dad came in, and just as a life thing, my dad just kind of like like focuses on like things like toughness and like in all aspects of life, though, like not even just basketball. But I guess that's where like the dirty work stuff kind of comes from in
So,
terms of my dad. Yeah.
so let me ask also. Now, you grew up with an older brother, Big Max. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's my boy right there.
Yep.
Now, Max being bigger than you, how much did that motivate you? And
Oh
having an
yeah.
older brother, how much did that motivate you to get better? And it's tougher because I'm sure he beat you up. And
Yeah.
Lori's like, I'm not calling a foul.
Well,
Not
yeah.
stop crying. Play ball. I
There
know
were
Lori.
there were times like you could ask my parents, like there's video proof too, like back in the day, like if my brother was doing something or he was getting filmed like in the kitchen, like little me would come up and I was always asking like where's Max, where's Max, where's Matt, like like him just like being there always kind of set a bar that subconsciously I think like made me competitive in a way. Like there were also times like you said, I would get heated because he would just be backing me down in the driveway and just like slamming on me on a mini hoop, and like I would get heated, but like that's what like instilled like some competitiveness in me.
Mhm. So would you say growing up with an older brother, who was also an athlete. Now Max is a
Hmm.
genius. He's very smart, great golf
Yeah.
player, played
Hmm.
basketball, all 4 years of high school growing up. Max is where's he going to school at now, or where's he going?
Bentley University up in Boston,
Bentley
big business school.
University.
Yep.
Very smart kid. Is he doing golf or anything?
Yeah, I think he's trying to play um like intramural, like everything
Hmm.
up there.
Okay, yeah, just trying to stay athletic, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it.
Uh
When
huh.
you've grown up an athlete all your life, it's that balance of like you go to college. Sometimes you just want to be a college student where you could just like
Uh huh.
breathe and do your work and enjoy the college experience. But then there's always that side of you that's like, oh, I want to be
Gotta
competitive. I
stay
want to compete at
active. Yeah, I
something.
know.
So I like that for Max. That's awesome that he's still playing. Let me ask you, Tom. How do you feel about golf?
Golf, I mean, in the past, say year and a half, I might have got out on the course once. But here's the thing. Here's the
Hold on, hold
thing.
on. For perspective, that within that, how many times in that same time frame has your dad and brother gotten on the course?
Oh God, maybe in the summer they're going out like every other day, man. Like so probably like 100 to 120.
So it's
Like
fair to say you've had
drastic
opportunities
difference.
to go.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
you only had one
Like
opportunity. You took it.
if I wanted to be a bit like the next golf stud in Burlington, like I got the opportunity, but that's not.
Okay. All right. So now my next question though, as you got older, I do gotta ask, did you choose to be accused and a Boston fan, or was that like bestowed upon you and you kind of had no choice?
I mean, I like from a young age, like I love those teams, but like if I'm being honest, like I was like forced to that hand, like I don't know.
So now with that force, now are you still a fan? Is it like, it's
Yeah,
in
it's
you?
getting hard though. It's getting hard with like Cuse this year. They got to make some changes, man.
Hmm.
Like they look horrendous right now.
So growing up in the days of Boeheim as the coach,
Yeah.
in all the years of Carmelo Anthony's,
Uh
Hakeem
huh.
Warwick's, Johnny Flynn's,
TJ Fairs. Yep.
TJ Fairs, CJ Fair, sorry, CJ Fair,
Yeah.
all these great players they had. You could go down the line, down the list forever. Syracuse
Mhm.
used to be a huge powerhouse when it came
Yeah.
to, Big East basketball and
Mhm.
producing a lot of talent. They were known for that zone, playing in the dome, all of those good things. Being a fan, a true fan for so long, what does it feel like now? Like, do you ever miss those glory days of like, oh my God, it was so good? Or is it like, it just happens as part of the roller coaster?
I mean, yeah. At some points, like it's a little bit of both.
Mhm,
Like you'll look back on it and you'll be like, God, I took this for granted, and like because that was such a special time. Like because they had some good teams after Melo too, like
mhm,
with Dion Waiters and
mm,
um they times where they were beating Duke. Like like sometimes just thinking about that, like them beating Duke today, it just seems like it's impossible.
mhm.
But I feel like if you think about that too much, it kind of ruins the experience. Experience. So
But it's part of the fandom. Believe me,
yeah,
I've
you
gone
gotta
through
stay
it.
optimistic.
You got, that's part of the beauty. If you're
Mm-hmm.
always winning, you don't know. It's always sunny. You don't know what the rain feels like, and then
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
appreciate it. But when
Mm-hmm.
you go through the rain, you appreciate them sunny days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So Tom, I apologize. Now as I move on, right, I do want to ask, what or who are three influences? They could be professional, they could be friends, they could be whoever. Three influences on your style of play.
Mm.
Who has influenced your game? What three players, three people have influenced your game the most?
All right. All right. For
Don't
off the
excluding me, Tom.
Oh,
Excluding
I
me.
can't go with you?
Excluding me.
Mm.
You could for the show. I didn't tell him to say this, y'all, if he does. But go ahead. I'm
Well,
just gonna say.
nah, but if I'm being honest, like off the bat, I'd probably go you because like coming off like we were talking about first time meeting you at Hartford,
Mm-hmm,
um like I know anything about AAU. You were
mm-hmm,
kind of like you got me in the mix with all that stuff.
mm-hmm,
Like I kind like really in a way kind of struck gold. Like you got me playing way more, taught me like toughness and like a bunch of like lessons in the game, and a lot of skill stuff beyond that.
mm-hmm.
So I would probably definitely go you.
I appreciate that. And I swear to God, guys, that was unplanned. I'm not telling him to
Yeah.
say that. I truly appreciate that. Go ahead.
Next I'm gonna go. Earlier in my career, I never really gravitated like towards playing like other NBA players, but I'd probably say Dirk Nowitzki,
Love Dirk.
cause cause especially now I've been kind of implementing more of like a post like jumper fade,
Mm-hmm.
and like I feel like growing up as a kid, because I was a still am, but not as much, like always a Mavs guy, and I
Okay.
love watching Dirk highlights, and I think that's just a
That's why
you
we
know
named our play Luca.
yep Luca.
That's why we had a play. The one play we ran in AAU when we needed to
That
was
got us
called
through
Luca.
all of Boo Williams. um, so yeah, I'd probably go him, and then a last one. Hmm. Uh, I'll probably go with my boy, my guy Kojak.
I love it. I love
My
it.
guy Kojak. Shout out Kojak.
Shout out Kojak, my
Shout out
guy.
Kojak, man.
That's gonna
Post
make his
legend.
day.
Yep.
Oh man, that makes me happier than what you said about me. Yo, let's go, Big Kojak. That's why we all love you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Big Sean, Big Sean.
Oh yeah, he came through the mind too.
Big Sean Big Sean he be on you, Tom. He be on
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Big Sean bring that energy. They can't guard you, Tom. Okay, so I wanted to ask this, Tom. Who are your three all-time favorite basketball players?
Who? Hmm. All time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go.
I want you to exclude me from this one time, all right? Don't put me in this one. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. Allen Iverson,
Ooh.
toughest dude to never win a ring. I think.
Okay, I respect that. So you're putting
Uh,
him over Charles Barkley when it comes to never winning the ring?
I think so. He had way more swag too.
Yo, different level.
Uh
Different
huh.
level.
Uh huh.
Different level. Charles
I'm gonna
had some
go.
swag back then, but
Yeah, I get
Iverson's different level. Iverson's
80s swag way different than the.
Iverson's
Yeah.
like it's just you feel what I'm saying? It's the
Mhm.
fact that he
Mhm.
didn't even
Yeah.
win a
True.
ring, it don't even matter.
Um. Next up, I'll probably go Melo, just
Okay,
because being a Cuse fan, like their 2003 run, like brought Cuse to the only chip. Like, gotta throw him in that mix.
got to throw him in there.
Um. And then a third one.
What was that point guard's name? McNamara. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
McNamara.
I couldn't think of
But
McNamara.
he's not on the list though.
No, I know. I was just trying to think of his name. I forgot the point guard y'all had there.
Yeah, he's nice. Third one. I mean, I like these past couple years. I've been surrounded by so much Luca. Like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta throw Luca in
You
there
gotta throw
too.
Luca in there. Okay,
Like,
I respect that, and that's so. It's funny because you got a nice little, which you don't even realize. You got so much more handle than than you even show
yeah,
people. You
yeah,
only show them a move or two. You got so much more handle than you actually
yeah,
show people,
yeah.
and that's what's scary. They don't even know what's really in the bag. That's what's truly scary. Once you really want to jab them up,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna get scary. I promise. So. Now, as we move, hold on. So, like I said, I met you at 11 years old. Tom met you in Hartford. I believe it was at Buckley High School.
Yeah, it was Buckley. Yep.
Yep, playing in a fall league or spring league or whatever league it
Yeah.
was. Shout out to George Thompson and Talented because he definitely is a good dude. Definitely looked out
Hmm.
by looking out for Michael and Tommy, and that's how we met. The boys played together,
Yeah.
and I remember because at a time where I was training my son exclusively and we were working extremely hard, I didn't see too many kids at the time that I thought were at my son's level at the time. Not saying he's great, but at the time we
Yeah.
were working so hard. It was then I met Tommy, and I remember saying, "Yo, this dude is nice." You were 11 years old, I believe. Michael was
Uh,
10,
yep. I
and,
remember that.
and I was like, "Yo, this dude is nice, like for real." And that's when I started playing together. But I gotta shout this out. I went back in my footage. I'm gonna post it. I found some
Nah.
old footage of me coaching against Tommy's team
Yeah, I
when they were
remember.
young, and we
I
whooped
saw
them
it the other
out.
day too.
Huh?
You posted something about it. I was looking at the footage. Mike hit a three. I looked at the kid who contested it. I was like, oh my god,
Who's the
Mike!
kid?
It was me.
I know. So I was just like, yo, we whooped them before. Just know that. And
Yeah,
then I Kevin Duranted them, whooped them, and went and took them. I said, I need that.
yeah,
I need that. Come on. You feel me? We put him up under the armpit. Come on, you with us.
yeah.
So, but yeah, as we grown, in this basketball thing together, you've played for multiple different teams. You played for Swarm with Brad, who is the
Uh
head
huh.
coach of KO, a very good coach, and I actually want to transition into that a little bit.
Yeah.
KO is a private school,
Mhm.
Kingswood, Oxford, in
Yeah.
West Hartford, which has a very good basketball program and track record of putting good athletes out. I believe, what's the dude's name? The big dude, redhead that they had. He went to Rutgers.
Oh, Gavin Griffiths.
Gavin
Gavin. Yeah.
Griffith.
Yep.
He went there, right?
Yeah. He was
Bro,
nice. Uh huh.
he was a good player. He went there, so they're known for having good basketball players. Now, so we live in a time where my son goes to prep school. South Kent always repping. He goes to
Mhm.
prep school right now. He actually lives at a boarding school, and then you have a lot of people who think that the talent should go to boarding school, but then you have another contingent of people who thinks that, or prep school, sorry, or private school, whatever. But then you have like your guys like Tommy, who have stayed true to where his smaller town school, but they have a good program. And last year, you guys made it to the state championship game.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask about that. As a freshman, what was it like getting spot up minutes here and there on a good varsity team
Yeah.
that made the state championship, and then ultimately led to you. I could be wrong, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you led the state championship game in scoring as a freshman.
Yeah, I did. Hmm.
For both teams, you were leading score, correct? Or did you just lead your
Not
team?
both teams, but for us, I was. Yep.
Okay, so you led your team in
Hmm.
scoring as a freshman
Yeah.
in the state championship game.
Yeah.
Now you guys came up a little short, correct?
Hmm.
But it was a great game. So what has that experience in, as a freshman, as a young guy now, before you get into that, we've played at a lot of high level AAU basketball games. I remember when we played in the elite division tournament with all those reclasses and prep
Yeah.
dudes.
Uh huh.
We saw me being the competitor. I gotta put this out there. Me being
Yeah.
the competitor that I am, right? I'm new to coaching the AAU, but I got a really good group of guys, and I know we can compete with anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not worried about anybody on the circuit. I know we can compete, or so I thought. So I don't know about reclassing and all that at the time. I'm just here for we playing our great boom boom boom. So we're playing up at Spooky Nook, and we're
Oh
signed up for like our age group, like the gold division or
yeah. Hmm.
platinum, whatever it was. Then they had
Yeah.
like an elite division, and I'm like, nah, I want to be in that. Like, what you nah? We good enough to play in that. And they're like, you don't really want to do it? I'm like, yes, we do. Man, so they signed us up in there, Tom. I got the video. Man, we playing these big ass dudes. I mean, we
Hmm.
got Michael Young ass. I think he in seventh grade.
Yeah.
We got you in eighth. We got Maddox with us who was balling. Like we
Oh
got a
yeah.
squad.
I mean, that
But
team was good.
we had a squad, but they had some big boys. So
Yeah.
and if you remember, so we got to were like, oh shit. So if you remember, and I remember, we was going at it with this one team. I mean, back and forth,
Hmm.
overtime, and it was like first team to score 4 points
Yeah.
win,
Sudden death.
sudden death or whatever it was. And I remember I gave the now listen. I take a lot of pride in myself and my son's game, and I don't doubt my son against anyone because I know he could play.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I had to look as a coach and say, you know what? Tommy, take the ball. Everyone get out the way. Clear out. Tommy, get out
Uh,
the way. Everybody get out the way. Let's do what we do. I'm not gonna tell him what move because I don't want y'all looking at my video and going to be like,
yeah.
oh, that's his move. Just
Yeah.
know we worked on a move that we be working on, and my boy hit him.
Autumn.
And what'd you do to him, Tom? Walk me through it, Tom.
Top of the key. Not gonna drop the not gonna drop the move name.
Don't tell him to move because they gotta start trying to worry about it.
But he went one way, I went the other. Got downhill, laid it up, and that's game.
And one of them big boyed them and started talking that noise because they was talking. And if you see the video when I do post it, Big Schwain is got when I post this segment right here, the video's coming with it.
Yeah.
Big Schwain, you see him out there like, let's go, boy, bringing that energy.
Yeah.
So, so we played in some big games, and Tommy's won some big games for us a lot. We've done a lot of winning, okay? So, Tom, as a freshman now going to the next level playing in high school, and now you're playing with some seniors and some older guys. What was your experience like as a freshman being a role player? Now, being a guy that's been the leader on every team you've been on. Now you
Hmm.
go to being a role player. You're not a starter. You're not getting the minutes you probably feel you deserve, or even when you're in the touches you feel you could, that you deserve or that you
Yeah.
can work with because you're at a higher level than most freshmen.
Hmm.
But maybe you were looked at as just a freshman in those moments, right?
Hmm.
So how was that experience for you?
Well, yeah. I think there were always times where like I thought like and maybe others too might have thought I should have been playing more, but like at the same time, I think there is a value in, especially a team like that, knowing how to play a role. Like,
Mhm.
like, I was fine with going in there, getting scrappy buckets, and like, playing, like giving it my all, even though I wasn't, a main core guy. But
Mhm.
knowing that I could still contribute to a team of that caliber, because like we were a good team, like we went on our run, because I think like it was really all mental when you're playing a role, like
Mhm.
just like being able to contribute is always like something you look back to, like especially in terms of like how good a team is.
Hmm.
Like just being able to be a part of it is like
Hmm.
such a special thing.
So in the moment, you probably, because you're living through it, and like most people in life, you don't take it for granted, but you don't realize the magnitude of what you're going through in that
Yeah.
moment.
Uh
But
huh.
once you're out of that moment and you can look back, it really gives you an appreciation for that moment, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I look at last season compared to now, and
Mm-hmm.
like I think like last season I was like in terms of like satisfaction of like how I felt I was getting minutes or how I was playing. I think like now I'm scoring way more. I'm doing everything a little way like way more. But our team last year, like it was a fun season. So like even though I was a role player, it was really just as good.
Okay, so now that helps me really to transition into, with being a role player last year and having a smaller role to transitioning to maybe your team this year isn't as complete all around as it was previously. And now you
Um
have to take on more of a role as the leader, which is scoring more, rebounding more. You just, being the bulk, you and along with Gavin, I believe his name is.
yeah, Gavin. Shout
What
out
what's your
Gavin.
what's his last name?
Daly, Gavin Daly. Yeah, he's
Shout out
he's a big
Gavin
part of the
Daly,
team. Yep.
point guard at Lewis Mills.
Mhm.
Solid player. I like him. I
Mhm.
like him. Good leader,
Yeah.
very poised, good player. So shout out you, Gavin. I know we've never really talked like that, but
Yeah.
shout out you, man. Good job. Very, very complimentary of your game, buddy.
Um
And I tell you what, Lewis Mills got some shooters out there. I
uh-huh.
saw him play the other day
Saw it.
against Simsbury.
Mhm.
And they were shooting the ball. They were shooting the blood out the ball. I'm telling you right now. I mean, the
Lights
blood.
out.
They were shooting the. Even my boy Tom stepped out for two lefty
Uh-huh.
threes. As soon as I stepped in the gym, my boy, ah.
Uh-huh.
You know, so so Tom, so with having that role now, how is it different for you? And do you feel like you've been able to show off your game more? And do you think that's contributed to you being the current CT Game Time Athlete of the Week?
No, yeah, I think it definitely has. Like we graduated six seniors last year and
Okay.
it was kind of like big shoes to fill,
Hmm.
but at the same time like I knew I was more than capable of doing that. So to come in this season and like I think taking on a bigger role is something like I've been waiting for
Hmm.
cuz I think like with a bigger role gives you more of an opportunity to prove people wrong and
Hmm.
just like go out and ball like that's like the aim of like why I do this like
So, being in a smaller school, do you feel now? Again, this is great that you got the recognition of being the CT Game Time Athlete of the Week, which is nothing to scoff at. Averaging a double double, averaging 20 points, playing in the toughest league in the state, which I believe you play like four of like the top 10 teams, or
oh
like
yeah, schedule is crazy.
yeah, it's like you guys play a very tough schedule.
Yeah.
And that's due, I believe, I could be wrong, but it's due to your recent successes
Yeah.
as an organization.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So my question is, now being that player where there's going to be trade off. There's like, all right, when you have a really good team, maybe my role is going to be less,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna, but when I have a little bit worse team, my role is going to be more. Do you feel like being in a smaller school in the northwest corner of the state where too many people don't know who Lewis Mills is? Do you feel like you get the recognition you deserve for your game? Do you feel like you don't, or do you feel like it's just where it should be?
I mean, I I I understand not getting recognition cuz like Burlington, Harwinton, Connecticut, it's kind of off the grid a little bit in terms of like the New Britons, the Meridans, but like I think I think we deserve a little more recognition because we got some athletes
Mhm.
and you can say that about any school, but I think we do deserve a little more recognition.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So my question is now, how do you decide as an athlete and what's best for you, your family, your situation when it comes to, staying in a smaller local school where, you're the guy and you have all the everything's about you versus going to a private school or prep school or where they have a better basketball program and you would probably get more recognition, more coaches would see you, more scouts would see you. How
Yeah,
do you navigate that for yourself and with
yeah.
the help of your parents and things?
I mean, yeah, there is definitely a lot of pros and cons to either staying home or going to something new at a prep school. Um, but I think what kind of makes me stay at Mills is just like in a way like that is my hometown, and like playing in front of like my friends and like people I've known my whole life is something like I'm gonna remember in like 10 years, like for a lifetime. But now on the other hand, you could say going to a prep school like in the long run is gonna make you better as a player, and that's totally fair to say. But if we're talking about just high school sports, I feel like playing for your hometown, like there is something definitely special to that.
There's definitely something special to it. I think it's a lot of give or take. It depends on each kid's individual situation. Because
Yeah.
there are some kids out there who are good in their local area. Then you bring them to they're good in a small pond. Then you bring them to the ocean and they
Hmm.
drown. Then there's some kids who are whales in a local pond, and it's like, oh, we bring you to this ocean, just gonna give you more space to do what you do. You get what I'm saying? So it's never, it's a give and take. Personally, with the environment that my son, like where we grew up, there's not a lot of basketball players here,
Hmm.
so it was most advantageous for us as a family and him as a basketball player as a young man to send him to a prep school where he could develop around people who are more closer to him with his interests with his basketball and his
Hmm.
music taste and that dress more like him,
Yeah.
people that have that, different and people that work hard. You go to this school, you're kind of there for your sport. The academics is great, his grades are up, but you're kind of there like you like Luca, how he was at Real Madrid. You're
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
factory, you're in an
You got things
academy,
in
you're here
common.
to get better. You get what I'm saying? Like you're
Hmm.
here to get better. So I mean, it just depends on what is best for you. Personally,
Hmm.
you ask me, I think Tommy could play anywhere. Personally, let me ask you this, Tom. Okay, now let's talk about your game a little bit because I love basketball and I could talk basketball all day. So, Tom, your game primarily has been around the rim, fair to say,
Yeah.
growing up.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Now, as you take on more of a role as the lead guy, like I said, I seen you step out and knock down two threes when I walked in the gym.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
hit one right before you walked in too.
you had three of them.
Yeah.
My fault. Let me shout him out. He said, "Yo, nah, I ain't just have two.
Yeah.
I hit one before you got there. It ain't just because you was there. I hit him anyway."
Yeah.
But so with shooting more threes, how have you been looking to keep working and keep getting better in your game? Oh, oh, we lost him for a sec. He might have got a phone call or something. He'll be back. He'll be back. Do 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 do
My bad.
do
Got a little
do.
disconnected real quick.
Oh, it's all good. I know your phone blowing up. Probably got scouts and all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ladies calling. I get it. I
KetchUp.
mean, y'all see what he looks like. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. No, but what was I just saying? What was the last thing you heard?
Talking about expanding the game,
Oh,
stepping out.
yeah. So, what things have you added to your game, and how have you been working on your game to, just continue to get better and not stay stagnant at one thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I think this
Especially when
past
you've been
summer,
so
I think.
successful at. I was gonna say, especially when you've been so successful at that one thing for so long,
Yeah.
how do you challenge
Yeah.
yourself to keep getting better?
I mean, yeah. I think something that like kind of motivates is like when I've been so successful going to the rim, eventually people are gonna like catch on to that, and like when a guy sags off you or kind of plays you like he knows you like he wants you to shoot one, like that in itself motivates you to be like, all right, I got to be able to get a bucket on like anyone. So
Hmm.
so this past summer, I think like I've always been able to kind of shoot, but I think it was really just about shooting them in games. And the more
Hmm.
I shot it in game, like just stepping out, catching, popping a three, like I think I did that a lot more this summer and fall than I ever did in any other
Hmm.
year, and that definitely had a big effect on my game this year.
So how do you because there's kids out there, and this is good. This is good right here for the young kids out there that, you know, I have a best friend, one of my really good friends, who played college ball. He's like one of my schools, a 1,000 point scorer and whatnot. And he's never really had the confidence he's never shot a jumper in a game until like senior year of college, okay?
Yeah.
But he's like 6'6", but he never had the really confidence, I feel, to shoot the jumper as much as he should. And so what I'm saying is Ben Simmons, you look at him, right? He's an
Yeah.
NBA player, but he just never got the confidence to shoot his jumper. How did you develop the confidence in yourself? Because I think that's what it was. Because what you just said was
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
always had
yeah.
the capability of shooting it,
Mhm.
but you weren't confident to shoot it in games. Fair to say?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what helped you develop that confidence? Was it just like, you know what, later for it, I'm doing it? Was it, or
I
was
mean,
it
a
like,
little bit.
Mhm.
Like at some point, like I think a little bit of it is getting shots up and like out like in just in a gym, like in like on a hoop, like at your house, like just seeing it go in and knowing that you can shoot it. But at some
Mhm.
point, you just gotta say like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot it in a game." Like
Mhm.
like you gotta step onto the floor and just be like, "All right, if I want to improve and expand my game, I have to like let it fly in this game." Like I think that's another big part.
So as your game continues to expand, you're shooting it more now. What do you think is the next part of your game? Because again, I don't think your coaches even understand how your handle is. Truly, I don't think they understand it yet.
Yeah,
That you could break
they've
down
been
most
see
people.
yeah.
Like I
I mean,
mean
they've
that
been
genuinely.
seeing it
Like, mhm,
like when Gavin's got the ball like for our team
mhm,
and we play teams like East Catholic or Northwest Catholic. They got they're big athletic. Like normally they're putting one of their bigs on me, and like our coaches are starting to say like, oh, we'll just like give it to Tommy and bring it up because they like against a bigger guy like I could definitely handle it up top.
I think you can. So Byron, when you played for me, Tom, from a kid, you get the
Yeah.
if these dudes is next to the ooh right here, right here, right here, don't give it to them. They better go. You get a rebound, you look up the court, Tom. If nobody's open, push it yourself. And you know
Uh-huh.
me, at least 2, 3 times a game, 4, 5, whatever it is, I'm like ISO for top 5. Get out the way, because
5. Yep.
you have so much in your game that I don't even think you understand yet. Now, again, how tall are you, Tom?
6'2".
6'2", right? So do you understand that? Like, let's say you wanted to play really college ball, right? Do you think you can
Oh
transition
yeah.
your game from a 4-5 to more of a 3-2-1?
Yeah, I think I could. I think I
I
could.
think you have. I think you already. I think the reason you are successful at big is because you're truly a guard. It's easy for
Mm,
guards. Your footwork is of a guard.
yeah.
Like you, when we work out in the gym, I'm not
Yeah.
giving you Mikan drills and hook shot drills.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're working footwork like a guard. You're a guard. You get what I'm saying? You're throwing it out,
Yeah. That's a
snatching it
good
back. You're
point.
a guard. So I believe it makes you lighter on your feet because
Yeah.
even when you have the ability to bully somebody and back them down and finish them, but a lot of your stuff is jab you, beat you to the left, quick. You know what I mean? Like, or I got you in the
Yeah.
post, hop step between two of y'all, take it. Like
Mhm.
you have a guards game. So like that can also play the
Really
big.
just playing on the block like a guard. Yeah.
Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like you're not like a shag drop step two hands. Like that's not your game. So I think
Yeah.
that you can I think easily, like easily. Whereas most big men, they are big and ugly and doofy with the ball. They can't really. Their feet are heavy. They can't really like make plays. I think you got a whole pump fake jab, jumper game to you.
Uh-huh.
I think you got a whole left-handed Michael Beasley game to you. If you really, that's who you need to
Mm,
start in that time.
okay. I'll take
That's
note.
that's. Listen, Michael Beasley is the reason my son is at South Kent School. I saw him play when he was at Notre Dame Prep. Played against South Kent against Isaiah Thomas, and that opened my eyes to, oh my God, there's a whole nother level of basketball. I got to get. Whoo, whoo. When I have a son, we got to work to get to this level. In full circle, bang. So,
Mm,
Tom, I think that your game, transcends that of a big man and that of a guard because you get a smaller guy on you, go take him right to the paint. He's little.
Yeah.
Post him up. Easy. You get a big guy on you, get out the way. Go by him. Jab, step him, pump fake him, one dribble, step back, pull up. You know what I mean? You got all of that in
Yeah.
your game. You have a lot of game. Now, the beauty of what you do great, you rebound. You rebound
Yeah.
the ball. Michael rebounds the ball because of you. Because I'm like, bro, somebody got to help Tommy fucking rebound. I can't just watch Tommy rebound all fucking day. Like, you know that, Tom. I used to
Yeah.
get on. Yo, someone has to help him. Y'all can't just fucking watch him. Y'all can't do that. You
Uh-huh.
know, and I believe it made my son a better rebounder because I used to be on him.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
coaches love guards that get up there and grab the glass and push the ball. Like
Hmm.
Westbrook, like Cade, like Oscar Robertson. You know what I mean? Like LeBron,
Yeah.
like guards that Jason Kidd, guards that go grab the rebound and they could push it themselves and now they got lanes and stuff. Do you ever feel like in your current position or a situation where you are at school where you're one of the tallest guys, do you ever feel like you'll have the chance to be able to develop that part of your game and really take it to the next level?
You're,
That's
you're saying
assuming
you're
that's
saying
assuming you want to go to college, and play
yeah, you're
ball.
saying do you think I'll be able to expand to that wing like or like
Hmm.
that two guard like position at where I'm at?
Yes, or do you think that it's so vital that you're down
Yeah.
low because you're the
Yeah.
tallest guy?
No. I think I will. I
Hmm.
think I will because like in terms of guard play for our
Hmm.
team, like like our like most of our guards are seniors right now, and they're
Hmm.
gonna go. We'll have another guard next year, but and we'll always have bigs. Like if you could get a rebound, you could play. You could play.
Yeah, I got a big boy off the bench.
Yeah, and if you got some dog in you, like you can play a big. So
Hmm.
I think like if I needed to be a big, like I can be a big, which I have been like the past couple years, but eventually we're gonna need someone to constantly bring the ball up and play like on the wing. And I think like eventually that's what like I look to do. So I think
So
and
this off season, what will your workouts look like? Will it be, more of you working out to be a point guard? Because again, like I said, Michael's about 6'2", 6'3" right now, about your
yeah.
size. And Michael's the point guard where he's at, and he plays
Hmm.
at a high level, but he's the point guard. So what I tell kids is if you're shorter than him, you're gonna have to be a point. If you're his height, you're gonna have to be a point or two, or you know what I mean, you're gonna have to be at more of a guard. Now, me personally, Tom, I think you're more of a point guard than you are a two guard right now. Not saying you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
shoot, but I just think that you coming off of pin downs and things is something we got to work on. As opposed to right now, you could handle that ball, back them up off you like you have that in your bag already.
yeah.
So I think it'd be an easy transition for you. You're a versatile player. You're very skilled.
Hmm.
So I believe that you could really do some things on
Yeah,
the court. My last question, I wanted to ask before I let, because I know it's getting late. I know you got some
yeah,
things to
yeah.
do, but I wanted to ask you a question, Tom. So we live in a time now where basketball is becoming a legacy sport, and what I mean by a legacy sport is you see a lot of second, third generation athletes, Bronnies, and all of these players who have the means and the access to the best trainers, the best teams, the best,
Yeah. Facility.
everything that comes with it,
Yeah.
facilities, the best what is not regeneration, recovery things, you
Hmm.
know, in a time like that where I'm a trainer and I make sure I pride myself on not being expensive because I want kids to be able to play basketball. I don't want to
Hmm.
price kids out of basketball.
Yeah.
So in a time where AAU, where like if you want to be discovered, you got to play on the best teams, have the best trainers. You got to have money for hotels. You got to
Hmm.
have money for a flight. You got to go to the best camps. You got to have the best Instagram. You got to have all of these things.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated and not fall for the glitz and glam of you got to do these things to be good? How do you stay with the like? Listen, I know I'm steady on my path because that's a very mature
Uh huh.
mindset.
Yeah. I mean, I think something that kind of like keeps me like on the on the ground is that I think a lot of like the stereotype of like you need to be on the best teams playing in the best circuits, the best you know going with the best trainer. I think some of that's in a way just not true. Like
Mm-hmm.
like if you can play and like know your game yourself
Mm-hmm.
and get with a good group of guys who like can play ball and can make you better. I think you like if you're playing AU anywhere really, like as long as it's like decently high level competition and you're getting better, like you will get seen by someone especially if you're trying to get seen. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think knowing that kind of keeps me like okay, if I'm still going at it every day and like working something will come.
Okay, so last thing I want to say, got to shout out Lewis Mills because we have a female Tommy on the other side. My girl Layla LaBunch is putting up crazy numbers at
Shout
Lewis
out
Mills
Layla.
also.
Yep.
We got one of the best boys in the state, one of the best girls in the state,
Doing her
both
thing.
sophomores in
Yep.
high school. Both really good players. Both really,
Yeah.
really good players. So Lewis Mills got some talent over there. I know, I'm older. So I grew up in the era, and you'll see his name on the wall over there, Frank Ponte and Timmy Russell.
Mhm.
Two guys that scored 1,000 over at Lewis Mills that both played college ball. Timmy played at that Division II down in New Haven,
Oh wow.
Albertus Magnus. And then Frank played D3 up at Johnson State, and he was like their all-time leading scorer at the time. I don't know if he still is all these years later, but he was a really good player. I played men's league with him for a lot of years. Really good players. So Lewis Mills has had some really good players throughout the years, and Lewis Mills looks to have some really good players now. And I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thank
Like I said, I've known you since 11. I've seen your hunger. I've seen your growth in your game.
you. Mhm.
I believe me, I watch everything. I see it all. And you're part of the motivation for us over here, for Michael, for me,
Yeah.
for all of us, to keep getting better because again, you could be stagnant where you are and say, you know what, I'm taller than a lot of people. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna stay around the rim. And
Yeah.
I've been successful. It's good to me. It's easy. But in that thirst to get better and keep on growing your game, you've expanded so much from
Mhm.
what a normal kid your age is doing. I just want to shout you out on our platform and
Yeah.
really make sure, the people see your face and
Mhm.
see, what the future looks like. And y'all better get ready to see that face
Uh
all
huh.
over the state these next couple of years, whether he decides to stay at his
Yeah.
public school or whether he decides to go and pursue his career, his basketball journey at another institution,
Uh huh.
whatever it is. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
You my guy. We're gonna get some work in this summer, of
Uh
course.
huh.
We
Definitely.
get straight to the point guard work. Straight to the
Definitely.
yams is what we get into.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Uh huh.
Is there anything
Feel
you
you.
would like to say before we get off or anything? You all set?
Not really. Just show this podcast some love, man. I had a great time talking, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I appreciate it. And the last thing I want to ask Tom, because when we look back at this in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Where will Tommy be in 10 years?
Oh God.
Not even 10. That's a lot. Give me, 10, let me see. You're a sophomore, so 2 more years, then four
So I would
years.
be, in theory, I'd be like
Oh, yes. Oh,
4 years,
okay.
4 years out of college.
Okay, so yes, 2 years out of college, Tom, where will my boy be at? Is he going to be hooping? Is he going to be rich? What's he going to be doing? Golfing?
I mean,
What's the
hopefully,
plan?
the plan. Hopefully, I got some bread. Hopefully, I'm getting money. Um,
Get
uh,
money.
that's all. Hopefully, I'm getting to it.
And what y'all don't know is Tommy used to have a little YouTube show. I believe was it YouTube?
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna make him get back on and start producing
Yeah.
content again. And if he don't, I'm just gonna take his content and put it right here on the website. All right, we got our own YouTube channel, guys. So make sure you follow, make sure you like, make
Yep.
sure you subscribe. And we're gonna be doing these a lot more. We really like to talk to athletes. We really like to help the youth, but we really want to give the spotlight to kids who maybe might not get the recognition they deserve. We want to talk to their parents and just talk about how it was raising these kids and what made them the kids that they are. So, Tom, I appreciate you as always. That's
Yep.
that's a wrap for the first official episode of
So
the
much.
Ketchup. No mustard, no relish,
Mhm.
straight ketchup. My guy, I'll holla at you, buddy.
See you, Bo.
Later.